Are you considering studying in the United States and Florida is your top option where you want to go and spend a year or 6 months abroad? Well, this video is going to be talking about the top universities for international students just like you considering studying at here in the state of Florida. In this video, we're going to be covering the top universities, going to kind of rank them and talk a little bit more about the city that each one is actually located in, because Florida is a big state. We have all different types of cities and universities here, and you're going to get insider knowledge, some of the best information about each university. So let's get started with number one. And it's probably my favorite just because I went there for my doctorate program. It's the University of Florida. University of Florida has about 60,000 students attending that university at any time, but about 5,000 students every year are from overseas, representing over 120 different countries. The reason I like UF so much is that because they have students from literally all over the world going there to study, they're used to helping students with all different types of cultural questions, if they have any type of problems, need guidance for studying. And let's go into more of that later. They have some of the most affordable cost of attendance. If you go to the website, you're going to see all different types of prices. If you include everything for an international student with the tuition, room and board, food, entertainment, going out to the beaches every weekend, everything you could possibly want, a computer, you're probably looking right around $50,000 a year, but you're getting some of the best education here in the state of Florida. Now, some of the most popular areas for international students to study is going to be business, computer science, and right now AI is very, very popular there. Healthcare is probably second to none in the state of Florida for some of the best academics and research here in the South of America in general. I know for pharmacy, it's always ranked in the top 5 best pharmacy schools in the entire state. UF is ranked usually in the top public schools in the entire country of the United States. That is absolutely insane. Just some campus highlights. There's tons of research opportunities for international students. There's a lot of resident halls, a lot of research, a lot of food around the campus as well. Rent is going to be about $1,800 a month for most students that go there. The city itself has small little areas that are walkable. The entire city itself is not the most walkable area. If you're looking for a beach style environment with a lot of beautiful palm trees like you see all around me, Gainesville, that's the city that UF is located. It's not really like that. It's middle, about an hour, 2 hours away from the beach. So you do have a longer drive to see a beach. It's not a tropical environment. It does get a little cold there as well. Even though you're in Florida, the environment is very laid back. People don't spend a lot of money there. It's not as flashy and beautiful like it is down here in South Florida. So it's something to be aware of. The food scene is really good, especially Vietnamese food, Chinese food, Thai food, Indian food. A lot of the Asian foods are very well represented at UF, so you won't have trouble finding international grocery stores or restaurants for you to do food shopping there. And if I had to give UF a ranking, it would be S tier because it has some of the best academics for a public university in the entire country. It has a lower cost of living area in general, and you get, again, a very international student friendly environment for you to study. Now, number 2, without a doubt, is University of Miami. Now, this school is beautiful. It's very close to where we are right now here in Boca Raton. It is a very tropical environment. The school is much, much smaller than University of Florida. You're looking right around 20,000 students, but about 20% of those are international students. Now, the international students there may cater a little bit more to the Spanish speaking side of things, but you still see a lot of students from, say, China, Korea, Japan also studying at the University of Miami as well. Now, the price there is going to be a lot more expensive per credit because it is private. It's about, I think it's like $2,600 per credit hour. So depending on your program, just your tuition alone could be the same cost of attendance as University of Florida. So you're probably doubled the price of University of Florida already if you went to Miami. The top programs there are going to be business, marine science, and computer science. Now, rent is also a lot more expensive in Miami. Expect to pay almost near $3,000 a month in rent if you want to go to the University of Miami. So if you're moving Miami and you're planning on going to school there, make sure you have plenty of money before you go there, because a lot of people there have a lot of money. Now let's talk about that area. You're very close to South Beach. Some of the best beaches in Florida are located there. It's going to be very tropical like this area here. So you're going to have a lot of palm trees everywhere near the University of Miami. A lot more people with money, a lot bougier, nicer areas, especially compared to UF. It's just going to cost a lot more money though. They do have some very walkable areas in the South Florida area. Not the most walkable area if you're comparing it to New York or other areas, but it does give you some walkable options. Some key areas to live if you're going to be going to University of Miami is obviously Coral Gables. Brickell is a very nice city area. Wynwood is another area if you like shopping or just live on South Beach and enjoy your day there. Whatever you want, you have a possibility at University of Miami. Number 3 is going to be the University of South Florida. Now this is located in Sarasota, Manatee County. You're going to have about 48,000 students. Of those students, about 12,000 or 12% of them are going to be international students. So you have an area that's very used to working with international students. So you don't feel like you're the only one going through this program like you do at some other universities in Florida. Now, going through these universities, it can be very confusing at times. They always have Florida in their name. That's why it's really important. If you want some help, I have an entire team that helps people relocate and especially help students come to America and study abroad. Go to my website, and if you leave a comment, YouTube 2025, I'll waive the consultation fee for people who find me through the YouTube channel. So go on there and we can book an appointment to see how we can help you navigate coming to the United States, especially Florida, for the first time, because it can be very difficult and confusing if you're not used to the area. This is completely new for you because it can be very confusing and difficult to navigate. But that's why we're there to make everything much more easy for people studying abroad here in Florida. Now that school at University of South Florida, engineering is one of their top 1, business as well. The environment though is very different than the others. You're going to have a beach environment, but I would say the demographic is much older, is more laid back, more casual feeling, kind of similar to Gainesville, but different, very, very different. That's why it's really important to reach out so you understand where do you fit in best when you're studying in Florida, because it's going to be very different for literally everybody. Now, Boca Raton is great. We're going to get into more of that later. My favorite city down here in Florida. But in the Sarasota, Tampa area, you do have Clearwater area in downtown St. Pete that are going to be really good for a lot of international students. They have a lot of food options there. University of Miami, down here in South Florida, there's a lot of options for Spanish speakers or people from Hispanic environments. You need to know exactly where you're going to move if you are coming for another type of environment, say Asia or Russia or certain parts of Europe. There's some little pockets here and there. That's why it's really important to reach out to us. But Tampa is a very different animal. I would say that it's very different than here. So you have to be a very particular type of person that really likes a slow pace of life, and you will probably enjoy the Tampa environment. Now, next one on my list will probably be very popular for certain demographics, but it's the University of Central Florida. This one is right next door to Mickey Mouse, so you have all the theme parks there. If your dream is to go to Disney World every single weekend, you can do that with a Florida pass. And the school there is fairly large. You're looking over 60,000 students that go to the University of Central Florida. International students make a good portion of that. Business, medical, AI is also very strong there as well. The city downtown Orlando can be walkable in certain areas. Outside of Orlando, you definitely need a car. It's a very different environment. All these places are completely different, but Orlando is, again, a very different environment compared to South Florida. If you're looking for a flashy lifestyle, you probably won't find that in Orlando. You're going to find a lot more people who love Disney World there and theme parks. If you love theme parks, Central Florida is definitely the way to go. Now, talking about food, Orlando has tons of food options for Korea, Chinese, Thai, Russian, Arabic food, a lot of food options. So if food's really important for you, UCF, University of Central Florida, it's really hard to go wrong with food options there as well. Next, Florida State University, also known as FSU here in America. I would say Tallahassee is very good for like legal fields. If you're going to study law, certain types of engineering can be good there as well. But Tallahassee it does not feel like Florida at all. There's not much in Florida that can be considered Florida. There's no beaches. The environment is very South Georgia feeling, like a whole different state. So if you're looking for a Florida vibe, Tallahassee's not that. Food wise, you're very low on options on food as well. Again, FSU is probably not your best option. If you're into nightlife and partying, it's a very college town, so you can do a lot of partying there. But if you're into beaches, a Florida environment, just FSU is not for you. But if you're looking for a place with seasons where it gets cold and not quite Florida vibes, FSU might be for you. Now, next is Florida International University. This one has over 55,000 students, with a good portion of them being international students from all over. Get it? Florida International University. It's down here in South Florida, so you get some of the best parts of Florida, some of the best beaches. If you're studying business, finance, engineering, medical, you can definitely find what you need at FIU. It's a great area. It's in the Miami area, so you have access to everything that the biggest city in Florida has to offer. And if you're looking for fun, again, more in South Florida is going to be definitely for you. It's a lot more of a fast pace of life compared to other parts of Florida. Anything in the southeast part of Florida is my favorite spot, and most people who come here enjoy this spot of Florida more than anywhere else. So hey, you got to consider FIU. Now, there's some other schools on my list, but I want to end it here because my final one's going to be FAU, Florida Atlantic University. It's actually here in Boca Raton, and it's a smaller school. So it only has like 30-something thousand people that go there. The international students make about 2,000, 3,000 students there currently. But if you're thinking about neuroscience, you're thinking about business, you think about law, medical, it has everything you could possibly want. And again, it has a smaller campus, but I would say because of the area, you're in some of the most expensive parts of Florida right here in Boca Raton. I would say the demographic at the school is amazing. If you're there to, how I say, meet people, if you want to go and date with people while you're here, I think Florida Atlantic University will give you tons of options of very attractive people. I would say FAU has some of the most attractive students of anywhere else in Florida, and people have talked about this for a while. If you want to find beautiful people, you'll come to FAU. So that's probably a highlight that you probably didn't want to know, but now you know. Another thing is that the Boca Raton area is beautiful. It's very exclusive, very private, and it's very lively. This is the downtown area right now, and it's a very beautiful area. and it's very clean here. There's a lot of things geared towards students. If you're going to FAU, a lot of coffee shops, places to study. The beach is beautiful if you want to go here for the beach life. There are certain walkable areas here in Boca, but it's not the most walkable area overall. There's a lot of things in the surrounding areas for pretty much anybody from any culture to enjoy. I would say if you want the best college experience and you want to be in a very upscale environment, Boca Raton, hands down, would give you that environment. If you want to learn more about studying abroad, or if you have a question, say if you're considering a J1 visa and you want to go to different parts of Florida or the United States and have questions about them, reach out to us or leave us a comment. We can make videos about that as well. There's tons and tons of cities in Florida. I just want to make a short video to give you exposure to certain parts and different universities that you may not have known about. Hopefully this video has helped somebody. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.